Well, I had moved to Healdsburg, that was in 2008, and I was totally out of shape, and I thought it would be nice to do Pilates to get back into shape. And I don't know, I was at some social event, and this friend said, "Oh, my husband goes to this place called Healdsburg Pilates, and he loves it. And why don't you check it out?" So I did. And I actually found that Healdsburg Pilates doesn't even begin to cover all the things that happen there. So I started off with Pilates, and then I happened to have at the same time a rotator cuff injury. And so when I was doing the Pilates and we'd have to do these angel wings, Peter noticed that I couldn't bring my arm up like this. So we had a little talk, and he invited me in just to take a look at no charge. And so then I was going to Pilates, and Peter took a look at my shoulder, and he said, "I think we can work on that." So we did a number of sessions, and I actually got a lot better. And then at one point, Peter said, "I think you really are ready to start, stepping up a little bit what you do." Peter said, "I think you are ready to step up, and maybe do something a little bit in addition to the Pilates, which is tremendous for your core work." And actually, Peter has a very unique way of teaching this class. So I was learning all about my anatomy, and with the help of Mr. Bones, and I loved all of that. So I had noticed that at the end of Pilates, this group would come in. Sometimes there were some of the same people, but some new people. And there was a real camaraderie there, and they all just seemed to love what they were getting ready to do, which was this thing called spin. And Peter said, "Why don't you come and try it out?" And he said, "The first one will be on me. Just give it a try." And I think it was like the 7:30 in the morning class on a Friday, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I could do that." And I was hooked. I really liked it, and not only did I find in the court very quickly that I was getting into even better shape than I was with Pilates, that I was actually bonding with these people that did this 2 or 3 times a week. And meanwhile, my rotator cuff was better, but not 100%, and that largely was because I didn't follow through on the exercises I was supposed to be doing. So I went back to Peter 6 months later, and he said, "Well, why don't you come in again for a few privates?" And this time I followed through. And I have to say that right now, I think my rotator cuff is like 99%. So good that whenever I hear anybody has a rotator cuff problem, I always say, "Well, you really should go see Peter at Healdsburg Pilates." And I know at least one person who has, and she agreed with me. She said, "Totally fixed." And now she's coming to the spin classes too, which is kind of fun. And Pilates mat. Okay. So one thing I do want to say with Peter, and because I've been doing, like, before I moved here, I went to the Y, I've done classes, and working with Peter at the combination of doing the Pilates mat class and then spin 3 times a week, I was in better shape than I ever had been since I had been an adult. Perhaps my whole life, actually, but I don't remember that far back. And that is because that Peter he's like your private trainer, even though you're in a group. And he always knows what each one of us is capable of doing. And especially when we're doing our spin classes, he never lets us slack off. And that's personally what I needed. And that's what got me to be totally fit.